everyone. Let's give ADA Walsh another round of applause for his presentation. Now I would like to introduce Lorenzo Steele, and he'll be talking to you about gang violence. So it's a very, very interesting topic. So keep your ears open, and once again, be respectful to the speakers because they are here to help and give information. So without any further ado, Mr. Steele. A round of applause for Mr. Steele, please.
My name is Lorenzo Steele Jr., and I'm a former New York City Department Correction Officer. From 1987 to 1999, I worked in the nation's most violent prison right there on Rikers Island called C-74. Okay, so the information that you're going to get from me today is not something I read, it's not something I heard about, it's something I witnessed every day for 12 years of my life as a correction officer. On Rikers Island, we used to average 70 to 80 of these razor slashings a month at the Adolescent Detention Center. We used to average 50 stabbings a month on Rikers Island. You must realize that adolescents do get raped on Rikers Island. So why I'm here today is, after leaving the department after 12 years, I started my own program and I have my own business. All I do is go into schools, community churches, and colleges and mentor about what really takes place in prison. Because unless you've been in prison, you do not know what takes place. You are not going to have an adult that comes home from prison with a white beater on, with muscles on, telling you that he's been raped in prison. You may think it's funny, but it's not funny if it's happening to you. This is a documentary I created called Scarface for Life. I got tired of looking at documentaries on TV that glorify prison, glorifying drugs, glorifying carrying and using guns. But when it comes time to talk about the consequences of all those things, which is prison or death, you see 2 or 3 minutes of that documentary showing the guy going to jail. But they don't expose to you what takes place in jail. So when the officer tells you you're going to do 3.5 years for carrying a gun in jail, 3.5 years may not sound like a lot of time to some of you now. But at the end of this presentation, 6 minutes in jail is going to seem like a lifetime. My mission is to inform and to bring information to children and adults of all races and nationalities about the horrors and inhumane conditions that take place in prison, to show how negative gang activity leads to incarceration, to introduce students to new gang laws, to analyze the consequences of negative behavior, to deter individuals from destroying their lives due to incarceration. Okay, now, I'm going to get heavy into the rap music because when rap music first came out, we received messages in the music that they was giving us. KRS and the Public Enemy. I remember when they first came out, they was talking about all type of African history, and it forced me, listen up, if you're going to talk, listen up, my man. If you're going to talk, get up and leave. I'm not up here playing games with you. This information I'm going to give you may save your life. I'm not going to talk over anybody in here. Thank you very much. The information that you're receiving in this music now is toxic. This is why the industry can pay 50 cents. Very important, because I'm also a professional photographer. So I deal with images and I see images the way they want you to see it. So when I see 50 Cent with a gun behind his back, and then I listen to his music, and nowhere in his music does he tell you the consequences of carrying a gun, how much jail time you're going to do if you carry a gun, how much extra time you're going to do in jail if it's gang related and you have a gun, I have a problem. So now, we got Tony Yayo on the right side. The name of his album cover is called Thoughts of a Predicate Felon. To me, Thoughts of a Predicate Felon is, how am I going to take care of my family if I have a felony conviction? You have to realize there are jobs in America that people can't get without felonies. you must realize that these charges that you get never go away. So now, if you're an adolescent at 14 years old, I went into a school, did a presentation, they brought me a child, 14 years old with a felony conviction, and he sat down and almost laughed at me. Because you know why? He got arrested, they escorted him out of school. He was a hero in his school because he got arrested. So I said, son, do you realize that this will be with you forever? It didn't hit them. But I know a lot of people that come home from jail. Barbershop talk. All we talk about is prison, doing the right thing. You got guys right now that cannot get a job because they have a felony conviction. You'll see some of these guys on these corners standing out. When you go to school, they're on the corner. When you're coming back, they're still on the corner. Some of these guys cannot get a job because they made a wrong decision at a young age. They wanted to carry a gun. They wanted to do negative gang violence. They thought they were thugs and they thought they were gangsters. But the consequences to these actions that some of these rappers are giving you is death or incarceration. We have to analyze the hooks that they're giving you today. I'm a hustler, I'm a hustler, I'm a gangster, I'm a thug. These do something, these images and the messages do something to your mind, because if you look at in the hood, everybody wants to be a thug and a gangster. Nobody wants to be the guy going to college. The guy in college is the one to get laughed at. This is what's taking place with your generation of the music that you're receiving and not being able to decipher what's really going on. So the consequences to all these things, all these negative messages of death or incarceration. There's nothing in the middle, wanting to be a gangster, wanting to be a thug, wanting to be a hustler. These are the consequences, death or incarceration. And I'm going to share something with you today, because 87 to 99, the adolescents on Rikers Island were 14 to 21 years old. I seen 14-year-olds go through things that they would wish they were dead. They wish they were dead. Having to wash people's dirty underwear in jail, having to force sexual behaviors on people in jail. But we're going to get into that a little further. Now, I'm going to analyze what's really going on with the so-called negative rap. That's what I call it, because that's what it is. They're paying these rappers hundreds of millions of dollars to promote violence, to promote gang activity, and to promote negativity. This guy, David Dash, right here, is promoting what they call a clothing line called state property. You got to realize what state property is. When you break the law under the 13th Amendment to the Constitution, you become state property. That means you could work in jail for 33 cents to $1 an hour. That's the salary within the prison system. You have to realize the prison system is the new workforce in America. If you're ever in school and you see any article that says core craft on it, it's made in prison.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water.
Stop the violence and start the change. Stop the violence and start the change. The beginning of a new concept of reality. Start the change. Stop the violence and start the change.
You say black folks pray for better rights. And you thought in exchange for money, for better life. And the